Hi, welcome back to the kitchen. My name's Larry, and this is Dad What's for Dinner, a stay-at-home dad's guide to home cooking. What we're doing today isn't necessarily home cooking per se, but we are making some homemade dog treats. I learned a long time ago the stuff that you buy at the store isn't necessarily the best thing in the world for your dogs, and I came up with this recipe. I researched a couple different ones and kind of put my own spin on it. So what we're going to be making today are peanut butter pumpkin dog treats. So let's get into it. Okay, so after you preheat your oven to 350, you're going to want to go ahead and line some baking sheets with some parchment paper, and that's what we've got right here. So you just need to tear off just enough to be wide enough for your sheet. And I found that if you crinkle your paper, it makes it a lot easier for it to set down and line your tray. Go ahead and do that with both, or how many ever sheet trays you have that you're going to be using. I'm going to be using 2 to start with. And then you're ready to start mixing up your dough. So it's important that I go ahead and give you my disclaimer. I'm not a vet. I'm not a pet nutritionist. So I've used these with my dogs for several years. I have no ill side effects. But everybody's situation is just a little bit unique. So you always want to make sure that you consult with your vet before you introduce any type of new food or treats to your pet's diet. So the reason that I started making these was because if you look at the box of ingredients for typical dog treats, there's probably about 20 different ingredients. As you can see here, I've got 6 ingredients. I've got flour, I've got rolled oats, I've got pumpkin puree that I processed myself with Halloween pumpkins, got some eggs, got some peanut butter, and some good old plain water. And that's all that's in it, and that's all that the dogs have. So we're going to go ahead and start mixing. The amounts that I'm using here, I've increased the recipe because I found that it's more efficient that if I make a bigger recipe, then I can make more dog treats, so I don't have to make them as often. But I will put the recipe amounts at the end of the video. So we're going to start off with our flour, just regular old AP flour. And I'm using 6 cups here. There may be more or less needed, but we'll have to see. Then we want to go ahead and combine in our oats. And we'll give that a little quick stir just to get them distributed in there. Then we're going to go ahead and add our pumpkin puree. Peanut butter, our egg, slightly beaten, and then we're going to go ahead and get this stirred up to combine. And I'll see if I can hold that up for the screen or the camera to see. We just want to kind of roughly combine these. It's going to be kind of dry to start off with, and then we'll add in our water. What we're looking for here eventually is to have a workable dough like cookie dough almost. Pour in some water and then just start mixing it. You could probably do this in a stand mixer. And truth be told, I sometimes do when I'm not making such a big batch. But I have the smaller KitchenAid, so this would be a little bit more than what my KitchenAid could handle. But you keep mixing and keep mixing. Okay, so we keep mixing, and then we're going to turn this out onto a lightly floured work surface. Get it all out of there. And we're looking for the consistency of, cookie dough, right? Because that's what we're going to do, is roll this out like cookies. So let's So we're gonna, if it's still a little sticky, you might need to work some more flour into the dough. You don't necessarily need to use a bench scraper, but I find it, my old bones makes it easier to work with dough. I don't have to do so much manipulation. And it helps that you have, if you have non-stick countertops like this, I happen to have marble, so it works. I'm going to keep adding flour until I'm satisfied with the consistency. So once I get it to where I want it to be, I'm going to cut it into a couple different pieces to make it a little bit more manageable. And this is really going to kind of depend on, you know, how much dough you're making for your recipe. So for what I'm doing, like I said, I'm trying to be more efficient with my time. I tripled the recipe. So you, depending on how much dough you're making, you may not have to do this. So then I just would take a tea towel and cover that up until I'm ready to use it. And then with my working dough, we're just gonna, just like if you're rolling out sugar cookies, we're gonna go ahead and roll this out. Get that toaster out of the way. And you want probably about 1/4 inch thick. Get your sheet tray ready. And then you can use, I have a dog bone shape cutter. Your dog really doesn't care what shape it is, but I think it's kind of cool. You can get these on Amazon. Or you can just cut it into squares, or, you know, get out your Christmas cookie cutters and make them look like candy canes if you want. Anyway, you just cut your dough out and you plop them on your tray, and we'll keep doing that. Once you have all of them on the sheet tray, go ahead and put them into your preheated oven. And you want to bake them until they are hard. You don't want these to come out of here soft. So I apologize, I lost my audio here, but what I was saying is you want to bake these until they are hard to get all the moisture out. That's going to take about 45 minutes or so. Okay, so when you check these, turn that timer off. When you check these, you want to make sure that they're hard, and these are still pretty soft. So I'm going to put them in probably for about another 15 or 20 minutes. Like I said, the softer these are, the more susceptible. You want to make sure you get as much moisture out of it as you can so that they're not susceptible to mold. So I'm going to put them in for about another 20 minutes. And we'll see you then. So it's been about 15 minutes. We're going to go ahead and check these and see how dry they are. And I think we're there. So we're going to go ahead and pull these out. And we're going to let them cool just for a few minutes in the pan, and then we'll move them out to a cooling rack. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. They've had a chance to cool off. Just going to go ahead and take these off the tray. and put them on the cooling racks. And you want to give these ample time to dry so that they're not any moisture on them at all. Make sure that before you put them in the bag to seal them up that they're completely cool and completely dry. So this is the fruits of our labor. We got probably about 120 dog biscuits, give or take. Your yield's going to vary depending on the size of your cutout and the amount of dough that you made. So let's go ahead and see what the dogs think. Hermes, Luna. So I got to see if the dogs are in the shot here. There they are. So Hermes is the big goofy dog on the left here. Wait, everybody got to sit. There's one for Hermes. Okay. And one for Luna. Okay. There you go. Good dogs. So if you like this video, give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe, and we will see you next time.